here, off grid. What's going on?
Damn, we made it.
Very strange. Very strange happening, you know?
Yeah, it was YouTube was having trouble because I was like, you sent me the link and I was asking to join, but it just wasn't notifying you that I was asking you, I guess.
I'll tell you what, it never does. On this, that's a real problem. So, side by side, one at a time guests, they have no idea when they come to the background what's going on. YouTube doesn't say the slot is already taken and the guest can't see you. You know what I mean? So, it's a disadvantage to the host. The host is like, has people getting frustrated trying to get in if they were going to be one at a time or whatever, you know, but there's no other choice. It's only one at a time. It just doesn't notify you. So it's really not cool. You know what I mean? It's not user
Right?
friendly.
Yeah.
It's the same way, you know, you have to press notifications and then all of a sudden they don't work because I think YouTube thinks you're not watching that anymore. You know what I mean? Like
That's
the algorithm is set up to be like, oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
getting dormant, you know?
If you miss too many of somebody's videos and you have it clicked, like it just doesn't give you the bell anymore.
And so it puts all this work on the end user, and that's not fair. You can't ask people to volunteer and jump through hoops to watch you know, like somebody's channel. It's not fair.
Right.
Well, cheers, man. We got it. Yo,
Yeah,
Carl.
yeah.
So yeah, Carl, it's one at a time, and he's up, man. That's the way. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a link. I could share it to you, but you can't get in, and it's not going to tell you. That's what we were just talking about. It's not going to tell you, Carl. We got time, Poppy. I just brought you up for the first time the other day, right? I hadn't seen you. I mean, yeah, I hadn't seen you on this channel. I didn't think before that. Anyway, so how was it today, off grid? Getting cold
Hey,
again?
another. Yeah, this morning was a little chilly. It's actually it's hot in here right now. I feel hot,
Okay.
and yeah, it's not too bad. Just this weekend, we got another cold front coming. Maybe a little snow. It's saying 19 Saturday night
19. Yeah.
after 70. You know,
Yeah,
like I don't know.
yeah, I know. I don't expect to hit 19 here, but who knows? You know what I mean?
Got the carpet clean on it.
Right? What's up,
I
Zed?
don't think hadn't been properly vacuumed in about 8 years.
Right. Yeah, it does go by the wayside. It's
Right?
easy to forget. It's easy, especially if you don't have any guests, right? If you don't have people in your car, I mean, in your Durango, right? You don't think about it.
Right.
The rest of the carpet's getting dirty and you know everywhere, even though you're sitting in one seat, right? It just happens.
Oh yeah. The dogs.
What,
The
what's
the
going on,
dogs.
Zed? Yeah, for sure. How's the
Yeah.
cat? The new cat?
Oh, the puppy dog. My new dog.
Yeah, your new puppy dog. Sorry.
Yeah, she's good. She's
Yeah.
doing good. She's real smart. She wants
Okay.
to be outside though, more than Gus. She just wants to go outside. Like she just goes by the door to go out there. It's not because she has to go potty. She just wants to go outside.
Is she like a
She doesn't let.
rescue?
No, I mean, well, sorta. She was rescued from somebody that bought her from the breeder off of Craigslist. They had resold her. I guess they tried to keep her for about 8 weeks, and then they just decided it wasn't for them or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know how you found her.
Yeah, on Craigslist.
Okay. So what were you looking for, or do you go to Craigslist and look for things on a regular? Or?
Oh yeah, just all the time look for random deals, free stuff, building materials, whatever. I'm always
Okay.
looking at Craigslist.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I was thinking. Well, I mean, not thinking. I've been told since I just can't get this PayPal or electronic money thing straight. I haven't been able to in years, and I've been banned. You know. And they eventually said use another email address. It doesn't work, and then they say my bank account doesn't work. I can't do anything. So I've been
Oh, I'm
told
messed.
I could put like Facebook Marketplace things out there and meet people out with a box of records or whatever and try to sell them. You know, I will because they're gonna have a
Yeah,
Goodwill show up right behind the house here.
somehow I got flagged with Walmart. I tried to cash a paycheck there a long time ago, and somebody decided it was a fake check, even though it wasn't. It was a real check.
Right.
But they flagged me in their system, and now nationwide Walmarts, I can't cash any checks. I'm like, you guys would be out of be shitting, man. I was like, that was bullshit from the beginning. I was like, how do you get rid of that? Like that they flag
That
you,
kind of
and it's
mark.
like
Yeah.
flag you for
There's no
nothing.
way. Literally, what you have to do, and it's really obnoxious. You have to eventually get through to somebody in accounting to really fix it for you. And what are the chances? I mean, the work that you have to put into it.
Yeah,
Cash your check somewhere else.
just ridiculous. That's what I did. I went across the street to the other grocery store and cashed it.
There you go. Yeah.
Like,
So my tax thing, we didn't have any cash or anything like that, and so my tax thing coming up like that. My daughter gave me a $50 bill because I have a $50 check for my birthday. I was like, well, I got a check. She gave me a bill, but I had to spend half of it just to send our taxes out. So that shit was crazy, bro. Well,
yeah, I had one of my buddies told me he was up late last night with his dad finishing all their taxes or whatever, and they filed at 11:50. I was like, Jesus, that's a little late to
11:50.
hit a little late to hit the button, I think.
Yeah. So I have 3 years of taxes that are still tied up in back. They're still not completed. But the last one I did complete, I did call my uncle. He's an accountant, at about 11:34, and I was like, I'm sending
no.
this right now. I got one more question, and he didn't answer, man. So I just had to do it anyway, But yeah, I mean, 11:55, man. So we did the best. The best thing that we did though is putting it in the mail. They can't ignore it. They'll have to answer us. They'll have to say you did something wrong because we know they received. Yo, what's up, Albert? And of course, Mick Gaming, we give you a like. Or is that for me? Thank you either way. What's up, Ever? Ever says, oh, hey, handsome terps. Zed hasn't been up here in a long time, and last time he was, boy, he was grumpy, man. I hope he comes back sometime soon. That was a long time ago, but he was in a... I'd like to hear more of that. I mean, not at anybody's expense. What's up, Anthony? He has lots of wood sculptures. One of these really funny things that we were talking about is I don't know. One of them is dice, and I can't remember what he said. He said something about how he made them by planting them, and like the carrots were the ones that put the pips in. He was so grumpy, man. It was funny. Yo, Anthony, what's going on? Yeah, Ever, look what I'm drinking. Some little bit of this, and I'm very much enjoying the last bit of this coffee I got here.
Coffee.
Yeah, it's really special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do if I have to give up coffee, but I will. If they raise the price high enough, I will give it up because I drink too much.
For
I drink way too much coffee.
I guarantee there's something else we can grind up and brew that we'd like just as much. We only know it because that they've told us. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's coffee with chicory, there's postum, there's all these different inventions people have had over time. But I'm sure there's something that it's nothing. You just have to ask the right guy, and he's like, "Well, it's kind of a tea, but oh yeah, that's good. I take it. I'll take it. How much is it? $4.99 a pound. It'd be something we can deal with." So,
yeah, just dandelion roots. I'm gonna have to try some dandelion roots. People dry them up and crush them into coffee or whatever and brew it with that. They say it's more bitter.
I'm not holding the link hostage, Carl. There's only one at a time. I'll send it to you right now. You can't use it, but yo. All right, I guess I did clean my bong, so.
Oh, is it empty? Ginseng tea.
I love ginseng tea.
Oh,
Actually, I'm totally fine with tea. The problem is it strips my throat. Like I get a little scratchy feeling from tea, so it really does affect my voice. I get choked out, you know. So I love tea. It's just it has that effect on the outer skin, you know. Not really useful. If I can't talk, it's like they say that a shark has to continue moving. If I can't talk, I don't survive. That's my only skill, you know. There we go.
oh yeah. What you got there? Oh, you're working on your grinder.
Yep. Yeah, ginseng is certainly more expensive than coffee. Yeah, that's true right now, but it could change. Yo, Ethan Branch, what's going on? Nice to meet you. We're just session, I suppose. Oh yeah, and then what's inside it is just typical. It's a gas candy from our farmer. Gas candy. Then we had a lot. Like I said, we had a lot of Rosetta Stone. I believe that's gone. We had two other strains that are gone, and then the last time we got a couple of bulk clumps, you know, and I don't even know what they were. Like, and I asked, but there's two of them, and they didn't talk to each other, so I never got an answer. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's like they're our friends, and they supply the big bag, the bulk of what we need for the whole year, and no complaints from us, bro.
All right.
We're happy. We're happy,
Right.
man. No complaints.
I'm happy as long as I don't run out.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Right. I hate going to the shop and buying it there. It's like they don't even. I tried to like get a good feeling about this shop and kept going there over and over and repeat
Yeah.
customer and I was totally like trying to ask the bud tenders their opinion on stuff and be friendly and whatever and this girl's like she's like, well, I don't smoke. And I was like, what?
Hmm.
I was like, you don't smoke? I was
But
like,
this
how
is
can you be a bud tender and you don't smoke? Like,
right. Hey, otherwise, you can't really trust them. You know, you think they're winding you up anyway, or reading what they were told. You know, they get like the cheat card with every sort of bud, right? And it says, "Tell them this one is this and that." You know, according to the breeder, which is the guy who's ultimately trying to sell the product. According to Spin, this is what this does. I don't know. I don't know if you can trust me. You know, when I meet somebody like that, I can't trust them. I hate it
no,
when I
man.
go in a shop and there's no prices because I
I
figure like.
I turned around and walked right out of there, Joe.
Yeah. Nah, that's corporate BS in the end, you know.
Yeah, vote with your dollars.
I'll take this, whatever that is. See, I'll take it.
Right?
No fancy package involved, you know. Yeah, I didn't. I asked about the last bulk bit, and I didn't even get an answer. But it doesn't matter, you know. It's just whatever everything they breed is similar. Everything is, they have a certain way they do it. It's outdoor. It's seed. You know, they don't use auto seeds just because they don't prefer them. They did when they started. You know, they're blueberry farmers. They're outdoor farmers. Everything is just up and up. They do it legal. So even like the place they want to rent, it's like so they get two more bodies in to be more Virginia legal and have a few more plants. You know. It's all good.
Yeah, it's pretty regulated over there in Virginia,
No,
from
it's
what I
not.
hear.
That's the
Like,
thing. For us, locally legal over 21, we're not supposed to sell. You can just give your friends an ounce or two,
yeah,
and you're supposed to
yeah,
grow your
that's
own soil plants and just
same.
keep it all like that. Now what you're saying? Hey, in DC they had uh, in Maryland forever they had like medical, but they had no dispensaries, zero. You know what I mean? So it was totally useless. But in DC, they had some like mixed bag of dispensaries pop up, and they had the gift. What is it called? A gift for donation economy. And so they opened all these shops. So like you, I try to go to the shops that are nice, make good with them, look around, kind of enjoy what they have and how they have it organized and everything like that. Now a good percentage of these places got busted, but in the end, like, I mean, they're just treating you like a number, man. You're just a number. So the guy that I do order from, because he does shrooms and they do delivery of weed all through DC. Um, he's for real about it. He's got like an Instagram where he kind of leads people on microdosing of psilocybin and stuff like that. So all their sort of industrial waste, like you'll never get shake in your shroom bag because they make it into pills and they microdose and but it's something he believes in like in a spiritual way. So I'd rather support that person. Vote with your dollar, vote with your foot and your traffic.
Yeah, there's no love in the rec grows, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
all down to
And
whatever's going to produce the most grams.
I saw the auto trim machines and I was just thinking, like, they're like these cheese graters, they're so harsh. And I was thinking, like, when you get something from somebody, even if the difference between a distro where you might spend $75 for a quarter, you get these like balled out, trimmed up nugs. But if you buy it from a farmer, all the big leaves at the bottom, of course, they're gone. The other ones, there's remnants. Like there's a little, toe of it and everything. They didn't beat up the plant to get these leaves off. They just cut them, and what's wrong with them?
Right. I
Right?
just pick them off with my fingers, one bud at a time as I smoke it.
There you go. There you
After
go.
I trim the most of it, and then there's a little
You don't
left
want
because I
like
leave the buds too big.
right. Yeah, because you want to protect them. That's what I'm saying. When I'm watching those machines, that I'm like thinking rock tumbler. I'm thinking that's harsh.
Right.
But anyway, that was just a big diversion. My mother's wife, she works in a dispensary. She's a trimmer, but that's more by hand. But I mean, she walks out with enough keef in one pocket to get her high for, the rest of her life every day. You know what I mean? It's not like she would have to buy weed. They give them
Right.
carts and whatever, but all you really need is a credit card and be like, and just when you work in a place like that, you're just covered in it.
Yeah, I think that wasn't paying too bad here. I don't think I can do it though. Like no way full time. I'll get some carpal tunnel. My wrists can't do that.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
no way, man. I can
I,
barely do
I
it
mean,
for
they,
the
they
two
have to.
weeks, 3 weeks a year that I need to.
Right. They have to diversify her work. There's no way she stands in one spot and cuts all day. That's not that's not sustainable.
Right.
No way. So, but and I know, again, like I said, I know for one thing they do laundry, because I bet you those towels, they got a lot of keef in them, shit. But yeah, you'd have to diversify your work day. You can't do that all day. Also, I'll tell you what, you might not want to do it because the biggest problem they have, from what I can hear, is it's the social thing. It's like so and so works in a different department and they got competitive aspirations because it's a niche business. It draws a certain person. So
Like, yeah. Certain corporations, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to mess with that too much. I mean, I don't want to do too much. I don't know. I'm an old man in the work world. I don't want to. I'm not going to innovate or start anything new. I just want to do my thing
The
if I'm
biggest
done.
the biggest wreck, like commercial whatever grow that's going on in Colorado is called the Green Solution, and they done took
Okay.
over stores all over, like this big corporation. I think they've moved into New Mexico too. Do you guys
Yeah,
have them out there? The Green Solution?
we only have one dispensary anywhere near us in Northern Virginia. It's Beyond Hello Company. They're from Pennsylvania, so it's the
All
same
right.
thing. They started a dispensary. They started a second one. They incorporate the grows. They do it themselves. It's gray market. It's black market. It's whatever. It's invade only. It's tied with medical. Then they come to Virginia and just boldly set up the whole damn thing. Go grow the whole operation, and people show up there like the liquor store in the city. As soon as in the morning, and somebody's got to open it up, and they're already lined up. Like 7
That's
a.m. for
funny.
bud. But there's only
Because
one
there's
place,
only one.
and
Because there's
yeah,
only one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so funny because I used to work in that area so much. especially with masonry and stuff. And right across the street is an equipment's rental place. And I'm like, how long is it before somebody gets one of those big things and just rips a hole in the grow room on the right day? You know what I mean? It's gone.
Right.
It's gone, man.
Well, we have
What are
like
they gonna sell?
12 or 13 shops in our little town of like 5,000 people.
That doesn't surprise me one bit. I'm telling you, I know it's abnormal what we have, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I bet that's annoying. Honestly, I'm glad I don't have it, you know?
Yeah, it's too
You have
many.
lead shops that are trying to, let's say it's going to be 420, right? And they're going to have everybody's sales. And in our area, that means, if let's say we went to DC, there'd be people outside talking to you or giving you little pamphlets, It's like, it's a lot of hassle, a lot of garbage.
Well, the competition to snuff each other out has brought the price of weed down to like $50 and $70 an O here.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
only
there you
been
go.
legal for a few years. Like it came down real fast.
Right, right. So how do they legally sell it though?
I mean, you just look at your ID and
Yeah, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like, okay, so
so
federally, it's
it's like an
probably banned.
ATM transaction when they're taking your debit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to round up to the next like $5 or $10 or whatever, and then they give you your change back. Because then when they run it through the machine or whatever, it's running through some other name somehow. They're they're
Okay.
they're paying so, they're
Yeah,
paying
some shell
somebody
corp.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, when the guy, we had a long conversation because he was trying to get me to join a loyalty program in a place I like to go, and all they sell is eighths. So you can get a $35 eighth, or you can get a $75 eighth. It's just up to you. They got a menu where they ask
Yeah.
people, like through five or whatever to rate it. It's all a crapshoot. A two and a four
Yeah, the
might be the
numbers the
same shit.
numbers mean shit. The
Yeah, yeah.
numbers
A
don't
two and a
mean
four is
anything.
the same shit.
I mean, like the percentage of THC really doesn't mean anything anymore because everything's over 20%. Like, good luck finding anything below 20%,
Right, right, right.
basically.
Yeah, it
So
hardly means anything. And 18% means the same thing as 29%. Unfortunately, there's no fucking difference.
it's like it's like
But
I
yeah,
know.
Anthony's
It's like I
saying
don't know.
in Bristol, and that's not far from me, about an hour. He's saying in Bristol they have about 15 dispensaries, and they got that competition. So we
Yeah.
just have vape stores that, like I say, they keep pulling THC off the shelf, THCA off the shelf. But I do have one right now. But we don't have it's. I'm glad it's more low key where I'm at. I'm telling you, I don't like that competition and that them trying to outshine each other from across the street. And we got a better deal this week. I understand the prices, and yeah, you can't get away here with somebody saying this is the most premium ounce. I want 210. It's never happening. Like $120 is the top out, and that's because people know the quality is worth that. The rest of it's good smoke. $90 an ounce max.
Yeah. I
We're,
think
we're not caught up to
you
you.
can still spend 200 here on an O. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. You can't really get that here. But you can get 120.
100 no back in the day, all day. I mean, 50 or 100 a quarter.
When I
I
used
mean,
to, well, I could spend 60 or 80 for a quarter. But if I had to spend over 100 for an ounce, I wouldn't. I would buy a quarter pound. I would buy a quarter pound and talk to a couple guys. Say,
yeah,
hey,
we should have.
we pay for three. The other one just kind of sits there for us to split. Like if you buy a quarter pound. So that's all I would do.
Right.
I was like, we could party with the other one. Like Red, when when Red came to town with his weed, he said, I figured we could smoke some, sell some, party with some. The party was some aspect. 200 easy, he says. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're selling some white this or wedding that and there that are it's pretty expensive. Still selling
Wedding
it by the
cake,
gram only.
wedding cake, like I've
Yeah.
heard. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they've
heard there's
got
a
they've
big
got
difference between the cookie strains that you can get really, really primo cookie strains. I mean, I don't get all into it, and I've never even had a dab, man. I can't wait, really, but
oh man. Well, I like putting a little bit of dabs on top of the bowl, just like you do with a little bit of hash.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just
I
get
mean, I
more.
had my
You get.
days with hash for sure. So that's, I mean, it mentally, like, there's something chemically different where it's different with me. But, so I love hash, but I've never gotten to a dab. And when I start,
Oh,
I'm
you're
sure
gonna
I'm
get.
going to enjoy it.
You're gonna get really, really high, Joe. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get one
because
of those big.
you take some like what you're shooting for is like so you're gonna get like 70 or 80% dabs probably,
Okay.
and
Okay. First
so
timer, man.
if
First
you're
timer. I don't know.
so if your weed so if your weed that you're smoking it with is like 20 or 30%, then you're smoking like 100% combined THC.
Right, right.
you're gonna you're gonna get high, man.
I'm sure
The
of it, man. I'm
the
sure.
dab bong really really gets you baked though, like a dab bong rig. Wow.
I just got a baby bit of, keef. It never empties because it always gets refilled, from the grinders. But
Nice.
that certainly boosts whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
boosts
yeah.
it. So I'm good.
I
But
still
hey,
got
what is up,
I
Space
still
Monkey? How's it
I
going,
still
bro?
got scissor hash.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mine's just the keef from these, basically. But what's going on, Space Monkey? We're chilling, man. I did need some company. Off Grid was good enough to come up, and it took a couple of false attempts. But we're here. And then I got the comically small bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, my goodness.
Nice. That's too small, Joe. Or you could still hit it really hard, though.
You
I'm
can
sure.
hit it,
Like,
but the problem is it's got a hole. It's got a carb hole, and like, how do you
oh
put your
no, you're gonna
finger
burn your
there?
little finger, bro.
Yeah, it's so hard. I'm gonna have to make a little plug.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some little like a decorative plug to be like.
Yeah, I've totally done that so many times when I was young. Like, have my thumb up too high on the pipe and then hit it, and I'll roast in my thumb, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, this one, yeah, it's like this one's like kind of like one of those shock pens or whatever. You pick it up, you use it, and you realize you've been had. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just burnt my finger, didn't even think about it. I was excited about hitting the cush, got me.
This one's been fairly effective at stopping the shooting stars with
Yeah,
the hole in the middle, and it kind of deflects it. I haven't taken a shooting star in the throat yet with this pipe.
yeah. I've been watching you. I've been watching that pipe because you use it. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I was wondering about that, but I see. So that means like if it's flying at you and it's like like ember hot or something, it's gonna get into the matrix there before it hits you in the
Uh,
throat. I see that. That's
At least
cool.
it hit once or twice before it hits me in the lung.
Yeah, so it's not burning hot anymore. That's cool, man. Hey, I'll be back in like 2 minutes, man. I gotta go. Fuck. I gotta kick the dryer back there. That's one of the
Oh, you
reasons I'm
bet.
on too, is because I got to do that, finish that wash anyway.
No problem.
Can't
What's up,
rest for a
Space
minute
Monkey?
because the dryer takes like 4 times, man. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Man, is your lint thing clean?
Yeah, it's clean. No, it's just
Oh,
cold. It doesn't. It's
yeah.
not warm.
Oh,
It's cold. It takes
it's
forever.
like the element's starting to go out in it or something.
Starting this is we don't own this, man. This is an apartment one, and this one's a replacement.
Oh,
They gave us
yeah.
one that was like 20 years earlier generation than the one they replaced. it was
Huh.
it was already yellow. You know what I'm saying? Like all the plastic on it was already that old. It
Nice.
leaked out all that
You
PET,
can
that white
work.
color.
You can work on all those old machines, like if you got mechanical ability. I mean,
Yeah,
you could order,
they're more
but
simple. Yeah, I could deal with it a little bit,
the
but
the new ones are completely insane, though. Like inside of a new washing machine,
yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah,
my front loader.
Carl works on those big belt engines and stuff. So he would have no problem fixing my dryer. But the thing is, it's not
Right.
mine. Right? So it's not
Yeah.
really my business
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Heck yeah, cheers, Sean. What's up, Space Monkey? How'd your doctor's appointment go yesterday, Anthony? Hopefully they told you you're fit as a horse, you know?
So as close as Anthony is, it seems where he's at, there is a lot more competition and option than where I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
It makes a difference
Yeah,
sometimes.
you guys should totally meet up sometime this summer
Oh
or
yeah,
somewhere.
I don't think that would be that difficult. We don't have I don't drive, I can't afford it. My wife said she's not even gonna try, you know. So so yeah, we don't have any public transport either, but we get around, man. We just need time, you know. Set it up.
Right.
Space
Okay,
Monkey said, what are you smoking? Cheers,
I'm smoking on my lavender plant. It was my plant in my garden that had like pink fuchsia colored hairs.
Yeah. Lavender.
She was the last. Yeah, she was the last one to get chopped down. 11 weeks of flower.
It was your wife's birthday?
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, my wife. Well, cheers, Anthony. Respect.
Happy birthday to Anthony's old lady.
Yeah, for sure. So you're saying tax day, actually, tax day.
I thought they had moved it like a year or two ago. Like, didn't they roll it back or something? But that went away now.
You know, I really don't know. I hear this. It seems like I've heard this every 4 years or something. Somebody will say it's different this year, and I always say, well, I think it's April 15th, and I mean, I've usually been right. You know, it's like it's tax day. Like I'm pretty sure my calendar says that, and the phone says it doesn't change. You know, now. April 20th that's a pretty late Easter, but that's always because it's got to be the Sunday, right? So like holidays that move like that are stranger than things like tax day to me, you know. Why do they move? You know, we just accept the birthday thing. We don't say you got to move it a half day for every extra cycle or once every 2 years move it a half day. Like we don't do any of that, you know. We just let it go. It's just a number. She said, "Thank you, off grid." Oh, right on. Yeah, man. Best wishes to her.
Right. It was just Joe's birthday too.
Right.
Everybody's birthday.
I'm
every
done
day
with it,
somebody's.
I got
every
to
day
celebrate it so
somebody's.
far, I'm done.
Yeah, every day somebody's birthday.
Yeah, for real. When's yours?
December 17th.
Okay.
I just turned 40.
Does that there's the Ostara holiday. Does that seems like it falls around then? I'm not so sure about that either, what the time is, but I think so. Off grid, you grow your own crop. That's dope. Yeah, man, he's got that lavender he's talking about with its own color, and you know, literally.
Yeah, my channel Space Monkey's got my whole grow on it from last year. That's the only thing on there.
Yeah, and drop his channel in if you can. I can't do it right here, but please, if you can. But either way, just sub up and check it out. She said, "Thank you." All right, thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I celebrated mine. I celebrated it well. I celebrated it for a good 3 days. It's gone. You know, are my sights on 420? It was big last year. Maybe. I'm not thinking about it yet. December 17th. All right.
Yeah, all my birthday presents always said happy birthday and Merry Christmas on the same present.
For sure. Yeah. I was thinking about whether your cards all had Santa Claus on them and like you scratch it out.
Yeah, I get to open some of them on on Christmas and some of them on my birthday.
Right. Yeah. No, I know it does. Christmas at that time of year, it does take away for people because, like you said, there's birthdays all time of year.
It's
Off grid
off
terps,
grid
yeah,
terps, off grid terps.
right.
2 words.
There you go, Sean. Yeah, I mean, but you grow all kinds of food and everything, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to grow a bigger garden this year than I have in the past. I've got bigger tomatoes going than I have before, and I
Right.
got some pepper plants going already. So we're just gonna keep planting. I got a pumpkin,
Okay.
and I got some flowers already. I planted a whole bunch of other stuff, but we didn't make it. I got an asparagus to come up from seed.
All right. All right.
I'm still babying the asparagus. It says I can't take the asparagus outside till next year.
Wow, man. I wonder what kind of peppers you're growing this year.
I'm growing sweet peppers. I don't know what
Okay.
color they're going to be though. But yeah, that's the asparagus. It's little. It's a little
Okay.
dainty little thing.
Wow. Okay.
But
So you got to
it's
keep
super
that.
fragile.
You got to keep that in like incubation for a long, long time,
That's going to take some babying to get that up to size.
right?
And I'm growing these other flowers. These are like nasturtitums or something. I think I'm saying it wrong.
Okay.
Nasturtitum. They're these little flowers here anyway, but they're supposed to get real big and have these big flowers, and they're supposed to be edible.
Right on. Right on. And then outside you got apricot trees.
Yeah, I got apricots and rhubarb.
Okay. Because I mean, the fruit's got to be pretty hard to grow, right?
Well, the apricots it's made fruit for 3 years now. The tree will be 7 years old pretty
Okay.
soon. This summer, I think.
Do you cook it and make like jams and compotes and things like that? I mean, to preserve
I
it.
haven't had that many yet, but I got
Okay.
plans. But they're totally available everywhere in town where I can just go around and grab fruit everywhere. Like there's apricot and apple trees and pears and plums and cherry trees, and it's like they're just everything is here. Just where you can just grab it. You just pull off the side of the road and fill up your sacks. Like they're
Man,
everywhere.
pears and plums, that sounds pretty good. I love pears and plums. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
So
There's
yeah,
all
so
kinds of
you
apples.
can get out and walk for an hour and 10 minutes. You're not gonna run into
That's it.
anybody. Right?
Well, you just go for a walk and you just grab like an apple a certain time of year. That's August, but yeah, in
Right.
August you can just go grabbing apples.
Yeah.
There's these
Well, I mean,
these
just in
little.
your life in general, you can take a walk for an hour and 10 minutes. You're not gonna run into anybody. You're just in nature, right?
Oh, I could walk for a little farther than that if I wanted to head off in a direction where there's no people.
Right.
I'd probably walk for like 50 miles without seeing a soul if I tried.
See? Yeah. See that's different. I've never had that. You know what I mean? I've never lived. I'll tell you what. I've never lived in a place where you could have a legal open fire outdoors. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not once. You know what I mean? So that's how far removed I am from that. Like I would have to at least spend $15 for a parking space if I want to build a fire. You know what I'm saying? It's
Oh,
like that kind of
yeah.
level. So it's
Yeah.
amazing what I see there.
Well, yeah, we're living in the past still. This is a modern house in the old west, right?
Right.
But there are a lot of people still are building adobe houses. Like today, they're still building houses out of mud and sticks.
Hey, if it's not
Yeah.
gonna get ruined, and it fits the climate, why wouldn't you?
Well,
I saw
the roofs
fantastic.
always leak, even on a brand new adobe house. They always leak. But
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah. Well,
like,
that's
yeah,
I saw structures in Mexico that I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I totally would do that if I was in the right climate for it. It's like so much better than or there happens to be Christmas lights that light that room or whatever. I would totally do that if I was in the right place because you can do that with a little bit of battery. Tomatoes and squash. Sean's growing, and he's asking where you're at. He's growing tomatoes and squash. You're doing that too, right? You're doing tomatoes at least and sweet peppers.
I've got a cucumber going right now. They're like these short, fat ones, though. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't get real long, but they're like, and they have like little bumps on them too.
Yeah.
I forgot what the variety's called, but I'm in New Mexico, Sean.
There you go. Sean's in Utah, or maybe some of the time, right? Sean
Utah's a
might be
nice
more
place.
mobile than that. Sean might be more mobile than that. I remember him taking quite a long trip with his
Yeah,
sister not too long ago.
yeah, I've been through there.
Yeah,
Big open country, man.
I'd love to go to
Between,
Utah. You know what? I'd like to go to the Park City. For the festival, for the film festival, right?
mm-hmm.
That would make sense for me. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's nothing great that year. It doesn't matter, right? I'd still enjoy that. That's a kind of cool thing.
We got this one here that it's like Burning Man or something, but it's this man out of wood, right, and paper or whatever,
Mhm.
and he's huge. He's like 75 feet tall or something, and he's called Zozobra, and it's the
Zozobra?
burning of those, yeah, burning of Zozobra, and they've
That's
done it
awesome.
every year for a lot of years now. But it represents starting a new year and letting go. That represents everything that happened in the past and last year, and like you're letting all that go by watching it burn, and it's like
Yeah.
the starting a new beginning,
When do they
a
do
new
that?
year.
When do they do it?
Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because it's the that's the whole thing. Like way back to Alex Jones with the whatever they are, the fucking they're burning the cremation of care. That's what they were doing right there. They were burning the cares of the year so that they can go on for I don't know
Yeah,
whatever it is. It's some sort of solstice or whatever, right? But yeah, I mean,
I think
it's like it's not even
the
that's
Indians
kind of the
the
same
Indians have
concept.
a yeah, the
Yeah,
Indians have a similar thing too.
yeah, it's really cool. Like, do you go to that thing? Do they, because you said that you're in kind of a tourist area, right? What is that for? Is it for skiing or?
Oh, for here,
Yeah,
it's a it's an artist town. It's an artist town, and people come here because of the Gorge Bridge.
okay,
It's a like a steel suspension or not. It's a steel bridge with the arch, right, and the two platforms or whatever that
yeah.
spans over a quarter mile,
So it's a
and
stacked bridge.
it's 650 feet off of the bottom of the gorge.
No, he's in New Mexico. That's why I was joking about skiing, but you did say it's tourists, and that's why I was asking why.
Yeah, there's skiing here. There's rafting. It's an art town forever. It's been an artist town for a long time. There's
And
art
you say that,
studios up and down the strip is all it is, and coffee shops. Originally, that's what Taos was: art shops and coffee shops, and there wasn't really anything else. a few, a few like trading posts or whatever.
how about performance?
They
Like,
have one. The college has one here now, like for performing arts or whatever, little center for performing arts and whatever.
okay,
They do. They show movies down there and have like a little orchestra come and stuff. They
yeah.
do some different events there.
They do like live theater and stuff like that. I mean, in an art town, you would, right? You'd have those sort of live performances, coffee houses
Yeah,
with.
I haven't been. I haven't been to one
You don't
there,
like going to
but
town, or you don't like mixing with everybody, yeah?
I just stay out here and hang out.
I know, I know. I mean, you've said it's somewhat of a confrontation.
It's different now, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
town there, so it's been like friendly to homeless people or hippie kind of folks, traveling people in the past, right? But
Right.
town's changing their stance. Town, the town council or whatever voted to double the police enforcement in town. So they were helping the migrants and stuff, the people that are passing through, and but now
Right.
they're like, oh, now the town
No.
council says they don't want them there no more.
So they're trying to
They
put a
changed.
new image forward. They're trying to create a new image.
Yeah,
And
they're changing their attitude.
Sean, you say that Sundance is moving to Denver. Oh, Sean, I caught the
Huh.
Coachella that performance by the Misfits that you told me about. That was quite something. That was pretty cool. I was like trying to imagine what it's like outside there. Pretty wild. Was founded in 1978 when I was born. Yeah, sure. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I would love to go. So it's gonna move. That's cool, man. That's cool. I could deal with going to Denver, I guess. Yeah, I've been to Denver actually. I've been there.
Right? It's not far for me. I mean, it's about 5 hours drive.
Right. But you used to truck, right? So a drive is different for you and
Yeah, it's not far. It's 300 miles, probably right where they're gonna have it, or less, a little less. Denver's not far from here. I'd rather go shopping up north than go south to Albuquerque.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's Pueblo. Pueblo's a pretty decent sized city in Colorado. That's 100 miles before Denver for me.
Robert Redford. See, there you go. Okay. So Sundance, they invite the press in for that time. But like you said, where you live in New Mexico, somebody's likely to live there because the press isn't present. Like
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Robert Redford was from New Mexico. He had a
There you
ranch
go.
here. Yeah, we've got Julia Roberts still has a house here
And
with
Tizzy
her
lives
husband.
in Park City. Can't believe that Sundance is leaving. It's actually going to Boulder City, Colorado. There you go. Boulder City, Colorado. Oh my gosh.
A Boulder? Is it calling it a city now? It's not just Boulder. Boulder.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Wow.
It's going to Red Rocks. What? They're gonna do it Red Rocks?
No,
That's a
Boulder
cool
has to be.
place.
Oh, that's right. Because I have a book about Boulder, and
Red
it
Red
uses the
Rock's a little
title
south, but
town. It says town in the title, not city. But it's about all that crime. It's all that newsworthy crime or whatever.
I've seen a lot of shows at Red Rocks.
Oh, Red Rocks.
When
Yeah, man. Red Rock is great venue because they put DVDs on Red Rocks all the time. It's a really good venue.
the sound's amazing there,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really matter where you're sitting at all. Like down in front is totally better, like right in front of the speakers if you want to feel the music. But
Right, right,
it really
right.
sounds the same like everywhere in there. The way that the sound echoes in there, it's like you're
Yeah,
inside of a giant speaker box.
that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, in Virginia we have Wolf Trap, which is all the way down sort of amphitheater, so it's all amplified. The ground is, so it's nice to be up top because you can feel the bass in the ground. I haven't been there in many many years, but last time I went, it was for classical, it was for cello, and it was great because the whole ground shook with the power of a tiny little, like some string making contact way down there. You know what I mean? It's like amazing.
Right?
Wow, that's like dirt tracks, like those dirt track races. I love those when you sit around and everything shakes. I love it.
Yeah, man. I love dirt track racing. Like, dude, I don't know why we don't have one of those tracks around here. When I was a
Right?
kid, we'd go down and we'd already had some drinks before we showed up because we weren't old enough to drink, but but we'd show up buzzed or whatever and get clobbered by those dirt clods going around the corner. Blah, 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 and be hitting everybody in the crowd as they're ripping around over and over, all the different classes. It really didn't matter what class, like they're all fun to watch. Like racing's racing.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. No, it's like in the smaller arena, you're closer to the action. Like you do get hit with the dirt clops. You know, you don't. Uh, there's another person at home, and all he sees is this. He sees the guy wipe it off the camera. You know, so and yeah,
We're all
you go get a
like this. We're like, here you come again.
yeah, right. And some, you know, I've seen a tire or two go, and you don't know where they're gonna go. They go wherever. So yeah, I've seen a tire or two fly up, and you know, thankfully, you know, the trajectory keeps getting clipped off by whatever it's hitting, so it doesn't
We had a
literally like take
we had
somebody's
a
head off or something.
we had
You
a
know.
fence out in front of us, but it was only a chain link fence. You know, like it's those
Right.
modified cars that rip around that track pretty fast. Like I don't think that fence was going to stop them if they were coming at the wall. You know,
Right. Right.
and but it stopped the smaller cars maybe.
Yep. Yep. Have you ever been in a derby or done anything like that?
No, I mean, I
No.
rode in a shopping cart down a hill one time and crashed all sick at the bottom when I was
Well,
a kid.
that's unsanctioned. Yeah.
We'd all take turns pushing each other down this hill, this big ass hill in the shopping cart. None of us made it the
Every
whole way.
every one of those sort of like you know, like ruckus skater home video series had that portion in it, you know what I mean? Like it's a lie push, you know. You know, anything like, including like Tom Green, it doesn't matter. But you know, on YouTube you can watch the Carts of Darkness documentary about Vancouver, BC, you know, and that's something. You know, Carts of Darkness, everybody, full length on YouTube, no problem. I'm sure it was in Sundance. I guarantee it was. But anyway, there you go. And as far as the Val Kilmer movie, I got to point this out because it is only on YouTube, or that's where it came out. Harmony Korine's YouTube output or whatever. There's a movie where Val Kilmer's a motivational speaker, and it's like somewhat done in reality. It's somewhat shot in the real world, and they're just kind of acting it out. And it was after he had been sick and a bit disabled, but before he was, you know, in the end stages and before that. So there was just this one moment of time where they made this pretty short film, and it's fantastic. I don't know what it's called, but it'll be on Harmony
It's a,
Korine
it's a short
YouTube. You know?
film. It's a short film though.
Well, it's not full length. I think it's significant. I mean, like, there's no point in doing 144 minutes if you can do it in 80, right? I mean, this is silly, just to qualify for some MPAA bullshit or whatever.
What
Just,
year do you think it? What year do you think it was?
I would think it was 2011, but I'm, you know, these are Carney rules within 4 years. 2011. It might have been 2018 for all I know. But he's a motivational speaker. Part of it shot in a bowling alley. Quite amazing. Val Kilmer, Harmony Korine. There's only one that matches that.
Harmony Korine. Yeah, I guess I can write that in my book here now. Since I can
Okay.
write these actors that keep dying at the end when they died, I can write the date now, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like Gene
Totally.
Hackman and Val Kilmer.
You totally should, because I'll tell you what, man. When I find a book like that in a thrift store, you know, that somebody has made annotations on, and I'm like, oh really, for $1 or less I can have somebody's actual like feedback. It's like having
Right.
two books or a book that talks to itself, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
was talking about it the other day, my imagination of how when I first heard about a choose your own adventure book, you know, I didn't think like it's going to be like, well, read between 78 and 110, you know, if you choose such path. I thought maybe you
He,
could read through and it would change, you know.
I didn't realize how prolific he was. Holy shit! Like
Yeah.
starting in 2008, Val Kilmer went crazy on movies. He made a bunch in 08, 09, and 10. And like it was like 6 movies a year.
Let's watch
Like
Real
this.
Genius and Tombstone tonight.
Well, that's a banger right there.
You didn't watch uh uh the Island of Dr. Moreau yet, right?
No, I didn't. Not yet. Not
After you
yet.
watch that, watch the Island of Lost Souls documentary. You'll find that free streaming. It's about Richard's
Yeah,
family. who was slated to direct it, and it was about that
Like
production.
What's the best Val Kilmer movie?
For
He
me,
thinks The
it's
Doors.
The Doors. Maybe it might be. No,
I
it's Real
mean,
Genius. No, I'm just kidding.
I think his acting and Tombstone should have won him something. They should have.
Tombstone was a big moment for a lot of people, I would believe.
They should have.
But I'd
But
say,
like,
like, honestly,
so
like,
it didn't win anything. So Tombstone didn't win anything. Not nominated for shit.
that's
Didn't win
crazy.
anything. And the
That's crazy.
Unforgiven wins everything. Released like a year later or whatever.
Wait a minute, that's industry connections. That's got to be right. Like, that's like over on one side, somebody's putting their money in to keep the project going, and on the other
Right.
side, it's like, that's whatever, like Clint Eastwood production. Like, that's it. It's like you said the right word. Handshake, handshake.
Best Val Kilmer
Robert
movie.
Redford's in on it. No,
So
you know
mean.
what? I'll tell you what. Like, honestly, like the Top Gun original,
Yeah,
that's
Top Gun.
when Val Kilmer got a lot of people's attention. I think.
Yeah. 1986.
Yep. And yeah, I like that. I like that. I don't know. But his best
Iceman.
movie, The Doors. That kind of performance, I think. I'm your Huckleberry. That's
Hell yeah.
a good one. No, I think The Doors performance got a lot of people because they can't really even untie Jim Morrison from Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have that tied in their mind now. You know what I mean? That's what they experience.
All right, I've got a pretty solid impression of that movie in my head as a young man. I saw it several times.
I went with my mother, and right before that, like one of these things, like they said, is like, well, you guys are gonna watch a lot of boobs together today. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, and we did, and it's kind of wonderful on the big screen too. But no hassle, man. My mother doesn't have any issue.
Right.
She enjoyed it as much as I did. But yeah, I think that performance was fantastic. I never thought he got enough of a good opportunity, but you know what? Neither did Tim Conway. A lot of people don't, A lot of people don't. What a difficult lifestyle. You don't get paid like all the time, I mean, you don't have any security. You got to
Right.
work. You
No.
got to get on planes to go to talk shows. They don't pay you. Talk shows don't pay you.
Yeah, apparently his agent was putting in work in 8, 9, and 10. They were
Like you say,
you gotta go to work.
would you say, how many movies a year? You said more than 3, right?
Dude, it was like 6 movies a year for 3 years. Like I was his agent and forcing him and shit. Like, or he was broke. Must have been hurting for money to want to work that much.
Man, you know what it was. When they do have a good 10-year run, then the taxes eventually like, you didn't do this right, and they're like, no, I had no idea. And dude, like
Dude,
I said, all these little trips and
Wesley's
hotels and shit, you got to itemize all that shit to get your profit loss.
is Wesley
Otherwise, yeah,
Snipes
you owe
still
it.
in prison for tax evasion? Did Wesley Snipes get out?
I don't know, man. I can't believe they would even do that. I just can't. I mean,
Like,
come on, man.
how you gonna lock up Wesley Snipes? What the fuck?
I mean, you don't lock up like 50-year-old dudes who fucked up their taxes or whatever. You let the crowdfunding take place or something. Leave these dudes alone. You don't literally have to pluck them out of their lives. Of course they didn't do their taxes right. It's too fucking
1, 2,
complicated.
3, 4, 5,
Somebody was ripping
6,
them off the whole time too.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19. He made 19 movies in 3 years. So it was more than 6 movies a year on average.
That might not count everything. Independent stuff might not make it to that. Top Secret and Real Genius. Yeah. Minnie loves Top Secret. I love Top Secret. That's a fantastic one. Yeah. Nick
They got him
River.
in. They got him in MacGruber.
Right? That's right. Yeah, I love Real Genius. I absolutely do. I'm sure I don't know, man. The lead guy, that was maybe they should have picked a different actor. I don't know. I don't know, man. When you look at it, it's kind of, it's kind of off-putting. Like that when they shame him by playing like his parents' thing on the phone, and this is like in college. So like Monk today was talking about that too. He was seeing this kid being bullied, like Monkey in the Middle. They're throwing his hat around. He's like, they're playing keep away. And it became important later because he knew how to play the game right because he'd been bullied. And she's like, so you did this all through school? And he's like, oh, yeah, all through high school. And he's like, and some of college.
Yeah.
And I remember, I even remember, like, when my wife would have heard that, because today it was just my son and I seeing it again and just cracking up because just so you think that stuff doesn't happen in college, then real genius comes into play. So it's embarrassing. Willow, oh man, what a weird movie, man.
Right.
I love Willow.
Val Kilmer as Batman.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yep. That's been brought up, to me quite a bit now since his passing.
Right, those movies are.
It's a shame, man.
I saw a copy of Willow that sold on eBay for $1,750. RCA, it was sealed. It still had the watermarks on it or whatever. It was like perfect condition, basically. $1,750 for a VHS.
Do you know I had two different very close friends that was their absolute favorite movie, right? So there's no doubt, like, whatever edition that is crossed right through my hands. Because two different friends of mine, that was their favorite movie. I'm old enough that every time it came out, I was already at the store. You know what I mean? So you mean I have a $1,700 tape in my hands? Whoops. I wouldn't know how to sell it anywhere else, Grid. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Top Secret.
Top Secret was fantastic. Yeah, I have an old original of that. Something else you showed, and it was yellow on the side, not the front. I was like, no, it's yellow all over on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because Top Secret is yellow all over. The Jerk is yellow all over. The one you were showing, I think, is too. Yo, dude. What's going on, man? Yeah, Willow VHS, yeah.
I'm starting to get surrounded, Joe, with my VHS.
I know.
I was doing really good. I was doing really good.
If they show up 20 a day, that's a lot, man. If you're bringing in 20 of one thing a day, what are you getting rid of 5 of?
I haven't been.
Right. So then the math
where's that tape? I know the one you're talking about.
Heck yeah, Sean. VHS is the way, man. What's up, Tooth? Tooth's got his video player, man.
Hey, I just learned, Joe, that The Fugitive is part of a series. And U.S. Marshals is the second movie. Tommy Lee Jones plays the same cop in both movies.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I forget his name. It used to be a big deal. Yeah, I'm because it's in, like I told you, that's a remake. It was black and white. Was this the series? Was that like a Dragnet type TV show type thing? Yeah, Up in Smoke was all yellow. Is that what you're talking about? Up in Smoke was available in so many different forms. That was back in porn days when they made tapes that, sold themselves by looking cool,
Sam Gerard was the name of the cop in the movie.
There you go. So that
maybe
character,
Dr. Richard Kimball in the first one here.
The one-armed man. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. I saw that in the theater too. I remember the big waterfall deal. I remember that in the theater. Yeah. High tense. Yeah, I have Up in Smoke in a big box. Yes, sir. I got a couple editions of Up in Smoke. I mean, I love that album. I mean, that one. I love the album too, but anyway.
I have Up in Smoke somewhere. I got Still Smoking right here. Already found Still Smoking.
Movie is, my favorite is actually Next Movie. It always has been.
Oh, yeah? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, that's when I was talking earlier. Like, yeah, I think we'll sell some, party with some, smoke some. Yeah, that's from that movie. That's it's right behind me. The girls are anyway. Yeah, there we go. See the girls in that photo here. That's them in the music store in next movie, right next to
Okay.
my broken vacuum.
All right.
I have one vacuum to vacuum the other vacuum.
Yeah, I don't know what that tape was.
It'll come back around.
The yellow one. I know what you're talking about. It was
Yeah.
super faded. Maybe I put it away in a spot on the shelf. I don't know what I did with it. It'll show up. I'll find it.
Well, I guess I'll be up for about 20 more minutes because I realize I got to go to bed in about an hour and 10. I'm gonna leave tomorrow and get all the stuff that we might need for Easter.
Hell yeah.
Just warning you. So yeah, don't go on
They
a tape hunt. Well,
Yeah, they got Up in Smoke in a big box.
yeah, they made several editions at the time. It was that time, and they would make like different covers and try them out.
I saw some different like kind of book boxes the other day. They were different though. It was Fox Video. It was a Fox
Okay.
Video box that was a little bit different. Like a
Yeah.
Fox Video big box or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. I have them, and do they say CBS Fox in any case, or they just say Fox?
I think it just said Fox Video. I don't think I saw CBS Fox on it.
Okay, I'll look into it,
So,
man.
but they were just, they're selling them for $0.25. There was one that didn't have a bunch of water damage. I don't even think I looked at it. It wasn't a title that I really wanted. I just thought it was interesting that the box was different.
This is a wild box. It locks at the bottom. You put the whole tape with the whole sleeve in, then it locks at the bottom. Then it's got two holes at the top, so you push the whole thing out. You keep it nice and safe forever,
Nice.
So
So
that's a
that's
wild
like
box.
that's an awesome protector for a sealed tape, right?
It would be, yeah, because you already have the shrink wrap on it. Yeah, I mean the shrink wrap's still going to dry out. That's what you got to worry about,
Yeah, it'll crack and then it'll tear at the bottom. I've had some of them already do that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you. Here's something. This is like, let's say, I had my own one of these because they were free from Safeway. So I had my own one of these mid 80s that I just walked up to the store and got free. But you see, it's still sealed. And this is one of those tapes that weighs nothing because it was a promo tape. But
it
see,
has
like,
no film in it
even
at
the
all. It's
plastic
like
here, nobody did this. It just did this by itself. It's just it dries out, it gets brittle, but it's still
I've got a
sealed all the way around.
couple of them acting like that. I actually think I'm gonna. There goes the fridge. I think I'm gonna open this one.
Oh, I have that one. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, watch that, man.
I think I'm gonna open it.
Yeah,
I've only opened one VHS, I think.
So,
since
like,
I've started my collection.
Here we go. See, look at this. Should I put this on eBay and try to get $45 right now, or nah? Here. This I use my guitar pick when I open it. That way,
he's opening the VHS. Oh no! Oh, they're not making.
But I'll do it with a guitar pick. That way, as soon as the tape safely slides out, then that way it's still in shrink.
It's a party. All right. Mine's got Paramount watermarks on it.
Mine being a free promo. Oh, look what it's got. Oh, it's not even free. Look, it comes with advertisement.
Oh,
It's not even free.
How much? How much does it cost?
You save 55 cents. So if it costs $1.10, not anymore. You save 55 cents. So it wasn't even free. It came with an ad.
This might be a Canadian tape. It has a Canadian rating on the back and the US one or whatever.
Yeah, but that's typical for rentals and for like Walmart. That's typical.
Oh
It
yeah,
means
did
it
they
has
start
North
doing that?
American distribution. It means it has
Yeah, I
North
did.
American.
I did good. I got it out of the shrink with it still intact.
There you go. There you go.
I mean,
There you go. We got it.
just
Yep.
slide it out.
So here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Did it work? Got to get that tape out. But don't pour. Oh, there we go. Just no. Don't pour. Oh, look. More
I didn't get
coupons.
any no promotionals in mine. I didn't get any of that. Wow,
I got
that's
more.
awesome.
So it's better that I opened it because now for eBay, you take pictures of the incidentals as well, and then you sell it. Nemesis
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not worth money because it was mass
It's
produced and it wasn't in the theaters, but it's a good movie.
right. Well, hopefully it's better than the one I just watched.
Heck no mold, man. That's straight up brand new. It probably still smells like Safeway.
I should smell this one. Huh?
Yeah.
It does have like kind of a new plastic smell still. It's 20. Yeah, it's like 22 years old. This is a 2003 release.
We're cracking the seals, man. We're cracking the seals. This is my JK Distro 1 ounce box, $35 for THC ounce. I don't
That's
mind.
a good deal.
I'll
That's
show
a good
you.
deal.
It's all
I
smalls,
mean,
but
I
I'll
don't
show
even
you.
want to. I don't even want to tell you every year what I got in my grow. I don't even know what it is, but it's too much.
Well, this is $35, and they put it in the mail, and they put a boost pack in. It's all smalls. They're very, very, refined cut, but whatever. It's an ounce, and it's $35, and it hits at about a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's just a little shorter duration, being a THCA. They say it
Nice.
decarboxylates at some rate of 0.7, so 70% or whatever. However it is, this is very pleasant in the smell and everything, and it also burns good, and there you go. But $35,
Nice.
I cannot complain, man. I'm gonna throw that in this grinder because this grinder's empty. Cheers. No, there's no mold in the tape, but yeah, you gotta smell it. You gotta smell it to enjoy the printing history.
I've
That's all
seen it a
crafted,
few.
man.
I've seen mold a few times, but it's tapes that are stored improperly. In some shed that was too many temperature swings, or they got wet, or something.
Just built outside. Just something that was built outside. You know, these are moldy tapes usually didn't have a cover at some point, you know what I mean? And you can see it grows in the wheel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it on this. I see it out here, like right on the side of the film. That's where
Yeah.
I see it. Right away. It would be. I pull it out and be boom. I'm like, oh, damn
Yeah, in the window,
it.
in the window, sometimes you'll see it growing really well. And
Yeah.
don't put that next to any good tapes. I mean, don't do it.
No, I don't. I won't. I won't even put it in my machine because it'll spread to the other tapes, or it could. I don't want the spores in my machine if I could prevent it.
Yeah, it's
you
not worth
know.
it. Hey man, there's a case for something that you might need to put on DVD because it just can't be bought off the shelves anymore. And a lot of times that has to do with adult material and stuff. But so there's a case for it to be done once, but that machine needs to be cleaned. But hey, we got VHS cleaner.
Right.
I told you, growing up, my
Yeah.
father who started with
Yeah.
Beta.
People clean tapes. I mean, people do it. It's a thing.
They
You
roll
can
them all
save.
the way out. They'll
You
clean
can
the whole
save them.
thing before they run it.
Yeah.
They'll clean the whole mold off. They'll roll the whole tape and clean it before they run it in the machine. I'll just run it and clean the machine.
Or if it's a valuable tape, yeah, you could save it.
Now I'm throwing that moldy tape away, and I'll save a digital image of it, and that'll degrade too. But that's what everyone does.
I forgot what movie it was, but I got it home. Oh, it was The Great Escape. I got
Right?
home and it was all moldy when I got it out. I was like, because the place I bought it had it taped up so you couldn't look at it.
Right?
That taught me a lesson. I was like, well, I won't buy them if they're taped up and you can't look at it. Like, because you would have thought that they would have looked at it, but
Sean's been collecting media forever, man.
nice.
Sean is, he's had his finger on the pulse. He's 1 year older than me, I think.
Cool, man. I've been collecting for this VHS collection for about 2.5 years.
And he
It's at 1,100.
he just jumped over that 1,000 mark. He just did like within the last month, basically, right?
Yeah.
And that is the
Yeah,
first
pretty much.
benchmark when you're doing VHS tape for sure. I got my first 1,000. You know, when you think you had 800.
Right.
Nah,
It's
it's
a
awesome,
bunch.
man. Show them off. Show them off. I'm rolling this guy up, and this is just straight that JK distro because that thing was empty. And this one is called PTX, like Prime Toxins, I think.
It's all stacked. All these, I love these drawers, man, with the tapes in them.
No doubt. Yeah, those keep them in nice quality.
We have more over here. Hell yeah, they're piling. We got VHS everywhere.
And that's your
That's
oh
all
no,
this.
those are just stacks. That's like all overflow. Wow.
Oh no, these are all organized though. These are
Okay.
S's, right? Those are the S's in the back, and there's T's and on to the into the alphabet there.
Oh
Right,
wow. Okay. So that's the end of the domino.
Right. This is the end of the. It starts up here, yeah, with A's and then B, C's, and D's, and so on. And then it goes through the cases too with the letters, and then
So
on over to here.
where are the westerns?
Well, you have to look it up by title.
So they're absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere because you have to look it up by title.
What about Once Upon a Time in the West?
I don't
That's
have
my
that one.
favorite.
I don't think I have that one.
I have it on double tape beta, but Once Upon a Time in the West. That's one of that is my favorite.
All right.
Look it up in your book. Do you have that where you can look it up?
Yeah, I can look it up. Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah, because I don't want to get any details wrong if I recommend it, but I do recommend it. I used to have like a Leonard Maltin book, but I don't have anything current. And the most recent, even related book I've been in that I love it's a book of sequels, but they're not film sequels. They're all literary sequels, and there's some crazy stuff. Anybody trying to jack on, a good, a good title that sold a lot and just trying to make their own sequels, they made some crazy turns. Literature doesn't cost any money to produce. You just need a piece of paper. Barrier to entry is very low. Play some Slayer. Play some Slayer for me, Sean. I want to
Not
hear
in
it.
this book. Somehow, hang on. Let me
Once
keep
Upon
going.
a Time in the West.
It's because it's stuck on the word "on." Let me get past that somehow. Here we go. There we go. It's gotta be.
Just rolling this up, and then I'll have my hands and see how it hits. Thanks for staying in, guys. Such patience, Tizzy and Sean. I'm tired, but man, I had to
I
do
don't
something.
see it. Joe.
Dang. I have a DVD over there that it's the DVD, and then the second disc is a soundtrack because I love those soundtracks too.
Hang on, we're getting somewhere. Here it is. I found it.
I think it was
1968 PG. Once Upon a
Jason
Time in the
Robards
West.
in it. Jason Robards in it.
Yeah, Jason Robards Jr. Yeah, and Charles Bronson, and Claudia Cardinale.
And they're all painted in gold, and they're out there in like it's Italian,
Directed by Sergio Leone.
Right. And written by
Sergio Leone and Bernardo however the hell, Bolatucci. And Dario Argento, it says.
Yep. He doesn't speak English, but he wrote it, yeah.
They gave it 3.5. They gave it 3.5 bones, man. This book they rate things up to 4 bones. It's through 0 through 4 bones.
Yeah.
And they gave it 3.5, and 3.5 is a really high rating for them because they're stiff on the bones on their reviews.
I'm telling you, yeah, one of the ones I have is a DVD, and the second disc is just the soundtrack, and I absolutely love that. And we also like, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the trilogy, and like everybody likes part two soundtrack over here. But we listen to that every Christmas. We listen to all that. But anyway, this one is the best, and I have a 2-tape, like I said, beta. And it's so funny because in order to present it in theater or widescreen, they didn't even have the proper name, letterbox usually, or widescreen sometimes, but letterbox. In order to do that, it's got like curtains on the top and the bottom, like little shitty looking designs to
Right.
present the film to you properly. It's got like these fake curtains, It's like, okay, time for some popcorn. Hey, bud, let's party. That was my
Hey,
son.
bud. Totally.
Those kids are facts. Good luck with that one, man. I didn't say that.
Yeah. So here's the breakdown of the movie.
All right, take it over.
Hang on, I lost it. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it says the uncut version of Leone's sprawling epic about a band of ruthless gunmen who set out to murder a mysterious woman waiting for the railroad to come through. Filmed in John Ford's Monument Valley, it's a revisionist western with some of the longest opening credits in the history of cinema. Fonda is cast against type as an extremely cold-blooded villain. Brilliant musical score.
Hey, man, I couldn't have said that, but there you go. That's the truth. It's fantastic. It really is. So check that one out, man. And he said, link it. You mean link the Harmony Korine movie that Val Kilmer's in? I don't know, but there's only one, right? So check that out,
Like,
guys.
it's like, yeah, if I Google could probably figure that out. Like, I can see the movies, but I have to go look at them individually to see who's in each movie. Like,
Yeah.
take a minute.
And like I said, I mean, I can't stay anyway. And I got this one going, man. This is the one, $35 an ounce. I'm telling you, like, no lie, that's good.
Hell yeah.
No hate about that. Like you said, how much you got into grow? Well, got nothing in this. Cheers to you, man.
I already got several hundred in this one, and I haven't even done anything yet. Not
Yeah,
really.
yeah. But you got all those. You got all those nice. You got all the Star Wars family plants over there, and they're all making love. It's good.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Just don't let outside freeze them up. Don't let them yell them out too much, and don't let them get
Yeah,
too leggy looking for sun. Right.
they're doing great.
Yeah.
They're
All right.
they're still out there right now. But yep, they're doing good.
Yeah, man. My friend Brian, he's been up here a couple of times. He's obsessed with Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and one of the funniest things to us is like Dennis Taylor, or just 2 more payments and this baby's all mine, and like all those little parts of reality. Calling somebody Dennis Taylor is like, I'll have to speak with Dennis Taylor. That's the first time he's ever called somebody by their first and last time in his life. In the past, he's called her Mrs. This, Mr. That. He's called you Dan or John or whatever. First time in his life he's ever said somebody's real name with pure sincerity because he's moving up in the world and he can see it. And then all of a sudden, twists and turns, man. But yeah, that's what's his name, Russell Crowe, and he wrote all that as like a teenage journalist for Rolling Stone and other independent papers, right? And so he traveled around the musician world and all that, and he got all that information as a teenager. The Damone character must be like 3 different real life people. The things that he does that are so specific to real life, you can't write. These are good movies because they just hit you. Now movies have to be based on a sellable property, and then they suffer because they have to be safe instead of being out there and like waiting for somebody to notice. You do something so out there, and then they're like, I got that. Hey, everybody, look this way. Look, well, you know what I mean? What does it say? Comes at you pretty fast. Exactly.
Right.
That's
If you
the
don't
key to
stop and
sport.
look around once in a while, you might miss it. Yep. That's I had this guy tell me that a long time ago, because I was a young guy trying to out hustle everybody else and shit. And he's like, hey, he goes, yo, he's like, look at the hawk. You know, he's
Right.
like, look at the, and then he's the Indian. He's all, look at the mountain. He's like, just trying to get me to just realize
Right.
what's going on. It's more than just me and this little job. Just like,
It is. It's the forest. It's being able to see the forest for the trees. The big picture as compared to the details. The things that you're hung up on now, the things that you're all amped up about now. Don't trust your emotions. Why are you so amped up and hung up on it right now? Take a step back. Take a look at the bigger picture. Take it in. The hawk and the
yep.
mountain, they'll be there as you hustle around. And I mean, why do you even have bruises? You knew you shouldn't have went that way, right? Boom. Whoops. I was trying to do something else. Sorry, my mind was in that direction. I looked this way. I did the wrong fucking thing, There's no excuse for it. You did it because you're bouncing around without purpose. But take a moment, see it. If I'm here, you're here. Doesn't that make it our time? He's absolutely right. Get a good one. I love Montenegro, that guy who came in, Mr. Pizza Guy. He's the best, man. He's the best when he's delivering mail and in in that what was it? Better Off Dead. Mr. Pizza Guy.
Yeah, I read online that there's some 24,000 VHS releases.
Right?
That
Is it?
doesn't include adult films. But without all
Then
those, it's 24,000.
it's finally being outpaced by digital files for sure.
Is it? There's more now
Yeah.
of
That's got to be, yeah. That's below the tipping point for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely outpaced because now we have streamers where if you finish an independent film with a few people, you can get it on there. You can
Mm-hmm.
get distribution. Jimmy's got distribution on everything. He was like saying go to Bandcamp like he does because as an artist or whatever, he'd prefer that, and you don't have to pay if you don't want to. But he's in order to get that, he's got Apple, he's got any place, Google, any place you buy a song, it's on there. He's just like, yeah, I don't know, that'll help them. I don't really give a shit. So it kind of sucks. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely outpaced it. Now, who's going to
I'm
write a
just
book
hooked.
that you can look at? If I told you, hey, I saw a digital film last week, right? Um, and it's called Once Upon a Time in the West. There's no way you could pull a book out and look it up for me like you just did. You know what I'm saying? So we missed the curation and things are going to get
I
lost.
I think that they stopped making this book in like 2016 or 2017 was the last year that they made it.
Yeah, Google it, Sean, for sure. And it'll say, oh, do you want to read this? Give me cookie permission. Give me a monthly prescription or subscription. Give me your credit card number. Where's your thumbprint? Who's your mom? That's what happens when you Google it, Sean. He's got a book,
There,
man. Nobody's calling him every time he opens it. Hello?
right. Like,
It's a bigger
I'm
world, man.
trying. I like it. When I saw this, man, I knew I had to have it. I was like, I'm starting this VHS collection, and it has like all the names of every VHS title. Every VHS title in here ever is in here.
Right, right.
I'm
And if
like,
you look Robert Redford up in there, and or like I said,
tell,
dare I
tell me
say,
every film up to 2013. The year of the book or whatever
yep.
for everybody.
And so few of these people really made it. Like I said, Clint Eastwood, you hear that? It's a big name. It makes a huge difference in what the industry will do.
Well, yeah, Gene Hackman, Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, Unforgiven. Like,
Even the
they,
small things in the world, like anybody who's been in a studio system, you might see them on, films out there, and you might see them on straight to video in the day. You didn't see them on talk shows, like I mentioned earlier, where they would have to pretty much use their own expense to advertise. They don't. They just stay in side characters. They're smart.
yeah, like why did Unforgiven win and
There you
Tombstone
go.
didn't? I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think I like
For your,
Tombstone better personally. They're both good movies, but I like Tombstone better.
yeah, I don't know the details, but I didn't mean to say that lightly. More that because it was true that it was more of a passion project that they threw money at to keep going. They really believed in it, and I think it's a fine product.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about studios. Okay, it's not on the Warner Brothers side; it's on the United Artists side, and
Yeah.
history will finally tell.
4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Unforgiven.
For your consideration. Yeah, that's from Julia's house right there too. You got a very pristine copy. I just need copy of movie that ain't been in cinema yet. Just film that ain't been in cinema yet. Then I be to BAFTA member.
I'm telling you, man. Some of these tapes, I don't know, man. They're like their copies are too clean, man. They're too clean. I don't know. They didn't come from any normal person's house.
Yeah, man. Nah, somebody knew what they had. That one time when you found all that sci-fi together, and they'd already emptied out the shelves, but it all went back together. It's because they knew what they had. Those are like the tip top.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah, that was like that's original Star Wars, original Empire, original Jedi.
Tizzy, I did like Napoleon Dynamite, and I'll tell you what I like even more, like 8 times more. Gentleman Broncos, that other movie that they did, Gentleman Broncos, I like that 8 times more. And that was filmed in Park City. But I gotta go.
Napoleon Dynamite. It was fun. That was a fun movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got some just for gifts. This guy was selling. Well, he had met all of them and got their signatures on one of those calendars that had their characters all split up. So he had several pages. I bought a few of them and like squirreled them away because I was like, I got some friends that by the time Christmas comes, they'll definitely want these. You know what I mean? So it worked like having like the Pedro character sign his own sheet or whatever. That worked out for me. It was a good investment. Smart. But I do have to go, man. Thanks for coming up.
Right on. Later on, Joe.
See you, man. Everybody sub up. Peace.